What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new Civilization 5 AI only battle. I hope you're excited. This is going to be a different one, another one that was requested. I get this request every once in a while and it always surprises me because I feel like people, at least when I play on non-TSL maps, don't like it. So it's an interesting one, but I thought it would be a good filler series and then I can get a big one nice and done. I'm in a bit of a transition, moving back to university for my final few months. Second half of final few months. I come home again at Easter and then I have a few weeks in the summer, maybe, depending on if my exams are online or not, but that doesn't matter. Just move on. We are on a random map. We have 19 civs because I'm technically one of them. It wouldn't really, I was trying to experiment, but obviously there's a limit to the number of spawn points, so 22 with city-states didn't work, so we just got 20 civs and no city-states. Hope none of the civs, and the civs were all random. I didn't pick any of them. I'm Venice, so they won't be in it, but the rest of them were just at random vanilla game civs. So we'll see what they do. It's deity difficulty. It's a continents map. That was the only actual limit on the game. Huge continents map. Mods 43 civ 1, which we didn't end up using anyway. The in-game editor, info addict, as usual, and aggressive and expansive AI mod. We have up the speed to epic because I think this is probably going to be the fastest processing game. Possibly. It's hard to tell. This map feels, there's a lot of sea tiles, I was going to say, compared to that France map. I don't know. This one might actually be bigger. But regardless, whatever. So yeah, there's 20 civs. I don't actually know who they all are, so I'll let them spawn. And then once they've all had their first turn and settled, we'll go round. So you can all make your picks. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting map. There's two sort of main continents. It kind of looks it looks like there's three on the mini map, but there is two. It's just one split in half. So we've got this one that's kind of pointy with the Zulu in the corner and Byzantium here with their own sort of bay area, which could be very cool. See how they use this space. Then there's this big arm of land just sticking out. There's another huge inland sea, which Poland is on the edge of, so that could be quite interesting as well. There's space for canal cities here that makes things quite interesting. There's then this big arm of it. We'll come back this way, actually. So there's Byzantium. We come down, we have a bit of a desert, and then we have the Inca. We have another, again, just sort of a bit of a tundra zone. Korea here, just, if I could have moved them, you know, we could have had another canal into this lake, which would have been cool, but we don't have that. We have Ethiopia then over here towards the tundra mountains, through here, and then you have the Mayans up towards the top, another lake, and Attila in the bottom corner. And then that is actually very close, only a few sea tiles, although they are disconnected by the deep ocean for now. To the next continent, where you have the Aztecs in the west, we have Egypt and Babylon at the bottom. I spawned here, so luckily I was thinking I would have to move some civs to fill the gap that I'd left, but it looks okay. Mongolia's then here, we have Indonesia, Rome to the north, Istanbul there for the Ottomans. I believe this is an open sea. It gets very narrow here with this island, but it is open, so you could come out of there. Then we have the Celts down here, Germany, Japan, and India as our contenders. So there you go. Feel free to make some choices. As you can imagine, the next few turns are going to go ridiculously quickly. So we'll see how many we can do. And then this one just doesn't start. Thanks, game. Jinxing me already. But yeah, it's going nice and mostly quick. Settling is when it normally slows down, so we're going to see the second cities pretty quickly. Everyone, of course, getting access to that second settler on deity difficulty, so it shouldn't take them too long to find a new slot. But yeah, we'll have a TSL game soon, so if this is not your thing, don't worry. But if you just like seeing AIs fight, I think this could be quite exciting, something different to the usual. You know, it's completely at random. As I said, I put it on continents map, I picked the difficulty, I picked the speed, and I just set 20 civs all on random. Let them fight. You know, the other, maybe we can do another game if people enjoy this one with the 20 civs or 22 civs that weren't included in this game. That could work. But and big part, random personalities is on, so they will not be doing their usual things. They will not have their usual tendencies. So, you know, Mongolia, the Huns, obviously their units might lead them to be more aggressive if they have better units, but they are not guaranteed to be hyper aggressive as you'd expect from Mongolia. Attila in particular, just looking at the civs that are in this game, the Zulu are in this one as well. We have our first pantheon with the Celts going for Dance of the Aurora, Faith from Tundra Tiles without forest. Do they have a lot of that? Yeah, they have a fair amount, and obviously they can chop down more of the forest to artificially sort of increase their faith as well. What we'll do is we'll go to sort of turn 15, and then we'll do a bit more of another look around, a sort of a second visit of every civ, just so we can see where they've all put their second cities early on, see who's pushed maybe towards. I'm just looking at the mini-map. We're not getting some of those ridiculous forward settlings we usually get on TSL games. Everyone's sort of just gone next to the capital, as if it was, you know, more of a game you would be playing in Civ. Here you go, the Zulu just moving across, which means they get all of this desert space to themselves. Byzantium went down this side of the mountain, which again, this seems like a good spot. The Inca went south with their city. Korea went west towards the Inca, worth noting. Poland just went east along the coast. Ethiopia just to the north on that lake. The Mayans just got another coast, well, like their first coastal city. They've gone, this city's in an awkward spot, look, between two lakes. And the Huns also grabbed a coastal city. And on the continent, we're going to have to name them somehow. Maybe, here you go. Actually, that's pretty fun. Yeah, there you go, guys. If you want to name the continents, we've got 2. Just say what civ it's on to identify which one. If you want to give them some names, come up with some fantasy and lore and stuff, I will be recording, apart from episodes 1 and 2, which I'm doing today. The rest of it will be recorded on a day-by-day basis. So I will be, if you comment, I'll see it before the next day, which it allows me to interact better with you guys. The only risk is obviously if I get like super ill or something, then there might be a few days without videos where usually I might be ahead. It's a balance, you know, but I think the interaction works. I'm generally, I don't want to say it because it's such a jinx, isn't it? I generally haven't been ill for a while, so you know. but there you go. That's jinx now. I'm sure I'll be catching something in the next few days now, after years of just generally not being ill. If you ever see me not posting, I'm probably being lazy. There you go. Hold it against me. The Aztecs went east with their city. Mongolia also went east with theirs. Indonesia went south. I'd love to see Indonesia do well for once, although they're strangely not on an island. I thought that was limited to their spawn, but maybe something overrode that I had turned on or something. But either way, Rome there with Antium. India went southeast with Mumbai. We have Osaka for Japan, Edirne in the north for the Ottomans. Germany went east with Hamburg for a coastal city. The Celts put Dublin just off the coast. Babylon went south with Akkad. Egypt put down Memphis. So there we go. That's all these second cities. There is some more land. There's a little island up here, little lost island. It does have the Barringer crater on it. Pretty cool. Kind of looks like the Jurassic World island. Maybe we'll get some dinosaurs up here. Oh, I just missed another Pantheon. We'll look at them when a few more come through. I mean, doesn't matter. Let me open it. How many have we got? Beliefs. So Ethiopia went for faith from quarries. I think because we're going to see civs not in their sort of natural habitat. They're not animals, but you know, not in their natural habitat. We are going to see some civs with some interesting pantheons as well. So that could be quite exciting to see how it all pans out. We get a third one, that is Poland with Goddess of Protection. So there you go, they're going to be extra combat strength in those cities. That is good early on, you want that. I'm just sort of keeping an eye out for those initial third settlers. I haven't seen any just yet as we scroll around. There's some fascinating shapes. This continent is just really interestingly shaped, isn't it? I love this sort of lake structure. It would have been so cool if Korea had have spawned here. But still, it's really going to be interesting because there's going to be fights within here, I would imagine, between Byzantium, Poland and Korea, possibly the Inca as well. Sort of in that sort of inland sea. And then obviously the entrances to it could be quite important too. So that's going to be very cool. And something we don't normally see because we just see the usual world map sort of situations that we're used to. The Huns have 2 settlers up already, so not so random personality. You know, a 9 out of 10 aggressive civ could now just be 10 out of 10 aggressive. That's what it could come down to with the random personalities. It looks like they're going to cut the Mayans out here and force them to stay in the desert as well. That's pretty brutal. Poland adds Łódź as their third city, and that does cut off. I mean, they already had this tile with Warsaw. It was pretty inevitable, but they now own the entrance to this inland sea, which could prove pretty useful. The Inca have gone desert folklore, which I mean, there's a lot of desert here, but they're not really in it yet. I mean, the Mayans could have certainly done with that. And the Celts give us our first religion with Catholicism. We'll see how well that does for them down in the corner. It's going to be so much harder to track the wars that break out in this game. I've just realised, like, when the Zulu declare war on Byzantium, I'm going to be like, that doesn't mean anything. But actually it does. Nabamba, the third city for the Zulu. I see the Ottomans with a third city too. Ankara down here to connect this lake. Japan has a settler up as well. Rome has grabbed a third city with Cumae. Attila's put down his first settler with Aberdeen, always stealing people's names, that's good. Most literate civs, we've got Babylon already ahead. The science civ, of course, with 10. 9 for a lot of civs. Okay, well, pretty much everyone's on 9. I'm not gonna throw shade at the civ in last place already. That would be harsh. Ethiopia with the city of Adwa here, and Mount Fuji is there. We'll try and find all the wonders on the map, but Mount Fuji there will give them some faith, culture, and gold. So that's good for Ethiopia. Jeonju is the third Korean city here. Inca with another settler. Little mountain range here. Byzantium still at 3 cities, but they have time, of course. The Zulu, though, do have a 4th settler. And the Huns put their 4th one down here, with a city I'm guessing is maybe one of the Incan names. But there you go, there's a 5th one, so that could be interesting. We'll see where that ends up going on this continent. But how's it looking on the other one? Germany with 3 now as Munich is settled. The Celts about to add a city as well. Tokyo down here for Japan, probably the most aggressive or bravest settling we've seen so far. India have now got a 3rd settler up and running for Gandhi. Rome have a 4th on the way. Indonesia already have 3 cities, including a very aggressive one towards Mongolia and another settler out here. And there is Uluru as well. It's pretty good for faith if someone was to get a hold of that. Mongolia have their 3 cities too. The Aztecs do not, but they have a settler on the way. I did see Babylon. Babylon completed Stonehenge, so that's going to help them get a religion possibly, as well as being good on science. And there you go, straight away they get a pantheon, god of open sky, 1 culture from pastures, and then the Inca complete the temple of Artemis. I thought this was the Inca. This is Egypt with their still 2 cities. There's Babylon, but yeah, the Inca here grab the temple of Artemis as they put down the city of Machu. So there we go. An intense opening 45 turns, but no wars just yet as the Zulu add city number 4. And Egypt then gets their wonder. Of course, pretty good at building wonders, you know, even with random personalities, they keep their ability, so they build the Great Library. That'll be some extra science and a free technology early on. Really good for Egypt, the wonder building specialists, really. So we'll see. That's probably why they haven't built a settler yet. Ethiopia founds our 2nd full religion, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check on that one for you. Yes, with Eastern Orthodoxy. There we go. And the Huns add city number 5. They are not slowing down, but there's no one really punishing them. You know, look, the Mayans are doing pretty much nothing. So there's a lot of pantheons now. We'll focus on the religions. I think that's best. We'll just be going on. There's going to be a lot of pantheons. Indonesia with the statue of Zeus, another good wonder to have. Good job for them. See how they get on. I'm quite excited for them. Rome has already trapped them in the corner though with this city, so that could be interesting. Sure, we'll see some wars between those two at some point. Keep going, keep pushing through the turns. Who are some notable civs we're missing? No France, no Brazil, no Russia, Netherlands, no China. So we're missing some of the big boys, but it's okay. USA is not here. In fact, yeah, no, we do have some America's civs. What am I thinking? There's the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Inca. No Iroquois, a pretty regular winner at this point when we do world games, so that's good news. No wars. It's been a pretty chill 59 turns. There we go. We get another religion. Poland, the 3rd religion of the game. Founding Buddhism as they add another city right towards Korea there. We will do a full map review in a few minutes, guys. I know it's going to be a lot harder to follow than the regular world map, at least initially. Once we have big civs, we can sort of identify areas of the map really easily. But at the moment, it's quite tough. I'm still learning all the areas as well. But like I said, give the continents a name. If you want to come up with some backstories, that would be great. I would try and use them. The Inca complete the mausoleum. It's another wonder for them. I think that's their 2nd. We will look at the info addicts at turn 100 probably next episode. Just, you know, no one's going to get that extra help when making their pick. Looks like the Zulu will make a 5th city as they head into the jungle. Byzantium still only at 2. Always a bit worried when they're a bit low. And you can't even say they've been focused on food growth because the Zulus actually have more population in total. But they do have a 3rd city now, so that's at least good. I guess Byzantium have the fallback that assuming they beat Poland to it, they will at least get this land here. There's probably 3 good cities worth of space there. Maybe 4 if you go for canal. Whether or not they will. The Huns, yeah, it's not look there. Okay, I was going to say there's our first war, Huns v Mayans, but it is not. The Ottomans declaring war on a very aggressive settling Japan. And yeah, it looks like the Ottomans are better prepared for this, so it could be a rough one for Japan. And the Ottomans are now in another war, though, with Mongolia. No, sorry, with Rome. On the side of Mongolia. Okay, that's not too bad. I would have been a bit worried if they were fighting a two-way war there. But no, they're fighting Rome in the north, which is not great. But okay, now there's going to be loads of wars that I can't keep up with. Either way, Attila attacks the Mayans. We'll have to slow down a bit as I hit next turn. But yes, that was sort of expected as the Mayans finally add their third city, Chichen Itza. This will be a tough one to take unless they conquer these cities and come from this direction. But yeah, if they have to come from the south, that would be quite hard. And there we go, Japan already losing the city of Osaka. That did not take long. Oh, Japan. Not what we wanted. It's the first time we've used vanilla Japan for ages too, because I've been using a modded Japan for quite a while in the world games. It's just not gone their way. I would have put the mod on, but then obviously if I do random, we may end up with like 2 Japans or something, so it just get a bit confusing. Neapolis of Rome falls to Mongolia, and if Rome starts to lose stuff, I mean, I say that, Indonesia has nothing. I was going to say Indonesia might attack them, but they do not have the units. They also somehow got a city up here to steal away Lake Victoria. I'm not sure India's going to be too keen on that, but they don't have too many units either. They have their 4 cities. Rome still has 4 and is about to get a 5th, so they're not slowing down. And Babylon founds the religion of Islam, so they're going to be a strong science and potentially religious civ. That makes for a very strong Babylon down here. And the Aztecs, I think, are about to backstab Mongolia. Yes, they are. Ooh. This continent has exploded into life early on in the game. The only war on the other one is the Huns, who have conquered Tikal here off of the Mayans. Byzantium did get their 3rd city. I don't know if them and the Zulu are friends or not. We'll find out. That's another scary place to be, isn't it, next to the Zulu? A very usually aggressive civ. As the Inca completely terracotta army. Japan pieces out with... Okay, so first up, that's a 3rd wonder for the Inca, plus some bonus units, that's worth noting. Japan pieces out with the Ottomans. They give up Satsuma here, so great for the Ottomans, not so good for Japan. And now Mongolia is in a tough spot, because they could lose their capital to the Aztecs, one of the other more aggressive civs genuinely in the game. Or generally, not genuinely. Another religion, India gets Hinduism. I haven't really looked at the religions I'm assuming there's sort of a good split continent-wise. There's not just like one on one continent and all the rest on the other, but we'll see. Palenque here is close. The Aztecs peace out with Mongolia and do not take anything. And the Ottomans actually have a settler over this way too. And there we go, the Mayans. First civ to lose their capital to the Huns. We have an enhanced religion. Ethiopia also completes the Hanging Gardens. And they've also now done some more settling, as of Poland. But there we go. We'll stop it at this turn for today. And I'm going to do the map review so that we can all make our choices. I've also got to make a choice, so it's going to be a tough one. Probably one of the toughest picks ever, I would say. Because TSL, I think everyone has a decent idea. But here there's so much to it. It probably does really help if you know the civ's sort of unique abilities. Because of they're in unusual terrain. But here we go, the Zulu with 5 cities, and it looks like they're probably going to attack Byzantium pretty soon. Byzantium with their 3 cities here. Oh, the great Old Faithful is there, that's a useful wonder. The Inca we've seen do quite well with wonders early game, and they have a religion of Judaism. I must have missed them founding that, so sorry Inca. Korea have 4 cities sort of along this strip. They have more on this side, at least they have them all on the same side. They could do some stuff with boats, but they have to be careful. Been exposed. Poland have their 4 along this coast and Poznan here and another settler, so they are going to be probably a naval powerhouse, as well as just genuinely Poland's normally a very strong civ, so we'll see what they do. And we have Ethiopia's 4 cities. I think they've grabbed a couple of wonders, definitely 1, maybe 2. We have the Huns, who have made a good start against the Mayans. Definitely wouldn't count them out. The Mayans, I mean, if you're feeling brave, give them a pick. That's all of that continent, so if you want to come up with a cool name for it, something, I don't know, that would be awesome. Be sure to do that. And we will move over here then to the second continent. I'll start at the bottom just so we can work our way around. We have Babylon, who we know have got good science. They had that tech lead earlier on. They've now got their own religion too with Islam. Egypt is here with 2 cities as well. The Aztecs have 3. They just missed out, but it's not a disaster. That's still fine. The Ottomans are doing very well. They have Osaka here. They have all these cities, and then they have Konya on this side. We then have 4 cities here for Mongolia. Indonesia with their 3 cities, and then the random one out there. Rome is still doing okay. I mean, they got 5. I wouldn't be too... It's not panic stations that they lost the city, especially because I'm not sure Mongolia is in a good position to keep it for too long either. So yeah, I wouldn't be... You know, this is Rome's era though. They do need to do better. Look, ballistas, legions. This is your time, Rome. India with their 4 cities. Of course, we know India will be relatively fewer cities, bigger population. Japan not looking so good with Kyoto and Tokyo. Germany down here, I haven't paid much attention to them, but with their 3 cities, it looks like they might attack Japan here, I would say. Unless they're brave and go after the Ottomans. And the Celts then in the bottom corner. So yeah, leave a comment with your choice to win. I am going to go ahead and put my faith in... I have no idea. I'm gonna go with Poland. I think they made a cool start. I think I'm just interested in how this lake thing plays out. It looks like such a cool, randomly generated region. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Poland. So yeah, there you go. That's that. If you have enjoyed though, be sure to leave a like on the video. Be sure to leave a comment with your pick of who's gonna win. If you'd like to name the continents, then that would be pretty cool as well. You can have, you know, you'll be enshrined forever in this series if you make some cool suggestions. So that would be quite fun. And yeah, be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. We finally hit 1,750, and then YouTube did a little sub purge and knocked me back down by about 5. So just to embarrass me. They always like to do that whenever I hit a milestone. So but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.